My final question concerns Yemen, and I appreciate that the administration has voluntarily suspended the refueling of the planes. But we've had a situation, of course, now our own basis in Representative Gates' district, we have Saudi nationals who are being trained and are attacking Americans. And the question, I guess, that the American public is asking is, why in the world would we be providing the Saudi Air Force with any possible logistical help to conduct bombing in Yemen when 10 million civilians possibly face famine?
So, Congressman, we're not providing the Saudis logistical help with regard to their activities in Yemen. We are providing Saudis and 152 other countries training in the United States. Why? Because we have a distinct advantage over Russia and China, who don't have allies and partners. And I think it's important that we continue these programs so that we have a broad network. That's what ensures our security.
Could you commit that we won't help the Saudi Air Force to either logistically or in maintenance to do anything in terms of their bombing in Yemen?
Well, you can define help pretty broadly, right? We probably train Saudi personnel to do maintenance here in the United States. I don't know. But
can we stop doing any maintenance of the Saudi aircrafts in Saudi Arabia and help and not have any of our men and women assist the Saudis in their mission into Yemen?
I'd have to come back with you and let you know what we are or are not doing with regard to the Saudis and what the impact would be on not just the Saudis, because keep in mind, those same Saudi aircraft might be the same Saudi aircraft we call upon to help us blunt an Iranian assault in order to, or help us respond to an Iranian attack.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in strong opposition to this defense authorization. There are many things that you can call the bill, but it's Orwellian to call it progressive. Let's speak in facts. When President Obama left, the defense budget was $618 billion. This defense budget is $120 billion more than what President Obama left us with. That could fund free public college for every American. It could fund access to high-speed, affordable internet for every American. But it's worse. The bipartisan provision to stop the war in Yemen, stripped by the White House. The bipartisan amendment to stop the war in Iran, stripped by the White House. The bipartisan provision to repeal the 2002, the George W. Bush authorization for the war in Iraq, which is sending our troops overseas, stripped by the White House. At some time, we can't just rhetorically give standing ovations when the president says we're going to end endless wars and continue to vote to fund them. It wasn't just President George W. Bush who committed the biggest blunder of foreign policy in the 21st century by sending us to Iraq. It was the abdication of this body, with many members of Congress who voted right with him. My question is, when are we going to listen to the American people? When are we going to do our Article 1 duty and stop funding these endless wars and start funding our domestic priorities?